It was February 2014, and wrapped in my giant American flag, I had just sat down to soak up the free Wi-Fi I'd found at the Sochi Winter Olympic Games. A few minutes later, a young Russian volunteer clad in his Skittles-colored uniform sat down next to me and asked if he could practice his English. I smiled and said sure. We talked about the Olympics, and then the conversation shifted. The student asked me, "Do Americans like Putin?" I paused and then said, not really, but many of us are certainly entertained by his karate stunts and shirtless adventures. I decided to turn the tables and inquired, "Do Russian people like Obama?" My conversation buddy answered, "No." I persisted and asked, "Why not?" He turned to face me, sitting next to him on the bench, and with the most disgusted look on his face, exclaimed, "Gay love." His horrified facial expression, along with my horrified internal reaction, is still seared into my memory. And that's when it clicked. President Obama's support of same-sex marriage was absolutely alien to this 19-year-old from Moscow. More than anything, I remember feeling really uncomfortable, and for a few seconds, wasn't quite sure what to say in response. What would you have done? What would you have said? I finally managed to sputter, "Well, this appears to be a cultural and social difference between our two countries, notwithstanding the many people in both countries who hold different views than their leaders espouse." I then promptly changed the topic. We spend much of our lives uncomfortable. We use the word uncomfortable to describe things we don't like, things we don't agree with, things we aren't sure how to respond to. Back in November, I posed the question, "What makes you uncomfortable?" on my personal Facebook page, and people could opt to comment or direct message me with their thoughts. To my surprise, I received over 70 responses from friends around the world. Answers I received included things like phone calls, people, silence, religion, physical pain, Tinder dates, public speaking, TMI or too much information, the unexpected, talking to my kids about sex, people who stand too close to me, saying sorry, the truth. So, what if that feeling of discomfort was in fact a golden opportunity for us to demonstrate our greatest potential? The potential to talk openly, engage, help, and love one another without any mutual expectations, through tolerance. In taking the risk to feel uncomfortable, we show that we can do and be better. These seemingly sticky situations we get ourselves into can actually be good from a learning standpoint and a getting along standpoint. By allowing ourselves, or sometimes, better yet, by intentionally putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations, not necessarily causing them, we give ourselves a chance to accept something or someone different from ourselves and our beliefs, without the assumption that they want to be like us. A quick Google search of the word tolerance yields over a dozen definitions, but only two stand out. Definition number 1, the ability or willingness to tolerate opinions or behaviors that one dislikes or disagrees with, without an adverse reaction. Now, that doesn't sound so warm and fuzzy, does it? Definition number 2, the ability or willingness to change our minds about something or someone. By allowing ourselves and putting ourselves in these situations, we not only give ourselves a chance to excel, but we give others a chance to excel as well. Now, the need for tolerance in the 21st century could not be greater than it is now. All I need to do is scroll through my Facebook feed or other social media feeds to see commentary on fear-driven politics, economic woes, increasing numbers of displaced people worldwide, and the duality of globalization. However, tolerance is more than just reflecting on clashing political opinions or searching for solutions to the refugee crisis. A lack of it can deeply affect relationships with our closest friends. 8 years ago, I was in the midst of a quite awesome final year at university. However, I wasn't too thrilled about my friend Justin's new girlfriend, Katie. Only wanting the best for my friend, I didn't think Katie was good enough for him. My displeasure with their relationship was no secret to Justin, and I soon found myself scrambling in an incredibly awkward and frustrating conversation with him in the famous gardens of our university. I stubbornly recited reason after reason why Justin shouldn't be with Katie, and conveniently ignored the legitimate feelings he'd had for her since our first year at university. I unreasonably expected Justin to come to his senses and dump Katie. There was anger, there were tears, and I pushed all of the right buttons to throw our friendship into chaos. Yes, I was both intolerant and uncomfortable before, during, and after that tense garden conversation. Our relationship was so strained that I never received an invitation to their wedding 3 years later. During my travels, I had willingly and consistently given up comfort to seek out countless rewarding adventures. Squatty potties? No problem. The Philippines during typhoon season? Sure. Pack trains in India? Why not? Yet how I had been so unwilling to even be open to changing my mind about Katie and her relationship with Justin. In 2014, when Justin and Katie came to London, we all spent 2 days together touring the city. As I watched and saw them together for the first time in 4 years, inside I shook my head at the years I wasted insisting that their relationship was pretty much the worst thing on the planet. I'd forgotten that the best for Justin was being at his happiest, and at his happiest, he was with Katie. Now, this flash of insight didn't come instantaneously. It occurred through numerous uncomfortable conversations with Justin about my own ability and failure to even give the relationship a chance, and reflecting on how disheartened we both felt. I realized I had never been open to changing my mind about Katie. I had never been tolerant. I came to see that Katie was just like me. She really cared about Justin, and well, that meant she was perfect for him. I recognized their love for each other and inherently my own ability to open up and accept them. Now, I'm so grateful to say I will be reuniting with Justin and Katie for a few days this summer. Now, what makes me so sure that more tolerance of other people and ideas through uncomfortable situations is crucial? Without discomfort, we become more protected, like in a cocoon, sheltered from the different or the perceived other. As a result, we are more likely to perceive these things as threats instead of as opportunities for growth and cooperation. Encounters with the uncomfortable can give way to reflection, personal development, mutual understanding, relationship building, and the cornerstone to all of these, tolerance. By having the courage, and unless we have the courage to intentionally put ourselves in these situations to reveal our shortcomings, constrained thinking, and how to prevent or minimize them, we will continue to feed the very problems we aim to fight, things like ignorance and discrimination. We have way more to lose by staying in our comfort zone, and everything to gain by expanding it. I'm here today with the goal of starting a grassroots movement of increasing tolerance levels through uncomfortable situations. No global experience required. Here are 5 everyday ways you can start here and now. Number 1, be interested. Ask questions. Fill yourself with wonder about the different point of view. Watch everything from the BBC to that certain conservative network in the US for holistic views. Number 2, listen actively. Instead of thinking about what you're going to say next while the other person is speaking, pick up on key words they've said and dig deeper. Mirror the other person's body language and emotions. Number 3, be yourself. Be sincere. Mean what you say, and others will find you approachable and therefore more likely to reflect on and listen to your perspectives. Number 4, deviate from your normal. Think about what makes you uncomfortable and gradually do it more. It could be as simple as sitting in a different part of the classroom to chat with someone you've never spoken to before. Check out that coffee shop you pass by every day. Invite a colleague to lunch and ask how their research is coming along. Number 5, help others when you can. Be kind and pay it forward. Check up on someone who seems lonely, or let someone with only a few items cut you in line at the supermarket. Volunteer. Here I urge you to reflect on working to overcome your discomfort. How did you feel throughout the experience? How might have your feelings or views changed? Did they push you to take action in some way? The more tolerance we build, the more patience we will have in approaching and responding to our daily struggles and those of the greater world around us. We will expand the windows for collaboration and support the balancing of motivations and agendas on an individual, group, national, and global scale. Thus, the fostering of tolerance within ourselves empowers us to do the same for our children and future generations. This, in turn, will strengthen our resolve to avoid the potent, divisive mistakes of our ancestors and to promote a more united human race, one that exemplifies the South African concept of Ubuntu, I am because you are. And lastly, as a certain Indian leader, Gandhi, once said, each is right from his own point of view, but it is not impossible that everyone is wrong. Hence the need for tolerance. By cultivating in ourselves tolerance of other views, we acquire a truer understanding of our own. Thank you.